Hello and welcome to Sobrix. I'm Adam and this is Sobrix. This is my channel for reviewing Lego sets and building them and other Lego related stuff. In this video, I'm going to be taking a look at the Lego Animal Crossing Isabelle's House Visit set. This is set number 77049. It has 389 pieces and I paid $32 for this set. This set retailed for $40, so 20% off would be $8 off, bringing it down to $32. I felt, $40 is probably close to value, just looking at the parts, looking at the figures, and stuff. It might not have been a crazy, outrageously priced set, at its retail price. I'm not like super into Animal Crossing or anything. I've looked at a few. I haven't looked at very many. But at full price, I wasn't maybe like totally interested in getting this. But when considering it at 20% off, I deemed it a decent enough sale for me to want to pick this up. So I got it. And now in this video, I'm going to open this up. I'm going to put this together and then I'm going to share my thoughts on it. So while I build, I will speed the video up and then I'll slow it back down to review this set. So, until then, enjoy! Okay, so while we look at the build process for this Lego Animal Crossing Isabelle's House Visit set, I just wanted to say thanks for watching and then remind you, if you like the video, click the thumbs up. If you like my other videos, click the subscribe button. You can give money to the channel with membership, supers, and thanks. There's a Patreon link, there's a Buy Me a Coffee link, all that good stuff. It helps a lot, means a lot to me. And then I wanted to talk about the build. So we have the two figures there. It is Isabelle and Fauna. We build a little kind of side area with a small garden as well as a kind of workbench. And then we can start working on Isabelle's house here. This is an open back house, which I know sometimes people don't like, other times people are totally fine with. I think it works well for this set. So we kind of get the outside walls there, we add on the door, and then we can start working on sort of the structure for the roof. And as you can see, we add a chimney. We also have some options for the windows. Next, we work on the roof, kind of the shingling and stuff like that, which is nice. Adds some good dimensionality, and I liked how this attached. It does leave some gaps at various places, but that's okay, and I do talk about that more in the full review. And we add a few more details to the outside, and then we can start working on the inside. So we're doing this bed here, which has a really nice quilted blanket on it with a cool pattern. Love the use of colors. We build a little kind of end table with a clock, as well as a sink, some furnishings, a stove, a oven, a little plant life in there. Those can be arranged as I'm doing it here, or they can be, moved around to other modules or repositioned, reorganized in the house. Add a couple flower things here, build a mailbox, and we can build a tree. This is an apple tree with some hidden features there. And then the last couple things are like this gift with a balloon on it, and then we can add it all together in one. And now onto my review for this set. Okay, so that is this Lego Animal Crossing Isabelle's House Visit set. This is interesting. This is pretty good. It's actually been a little while since I built this in relation to like when I'm recording the actual review for it, but there is some good stuff here. I was happy to look at a more substantial Animal Crossing build and seeing how it translates. I've looked at some of the smaller sets or sets on the smaller side, or different stuff, which like Julian's Birthday Party or the Bunny Adventures, or some of the or at least one of the poly bags. So it was nice to see this, and there's a lot to get into. So the first thing we will look at is the minifigures, because you do get some and they are great. The first one here is Isabelle. So we can see this character from Animal Crossing. They do have a watering can accessory there. And starting up at the head, we have Isabelle's head. It's dual molded, really nice design, kind of has different rounded fluffy elements. I'm not super familiar with the characters, but that's okay. It does have the hole right there, which can be used to put something in, for example. So we could put a flower over there if we wanted. They also have this on top, which is all connected there. Looking at the face printing here, we have the eyes, a little extra mark on the cheek, the nose, the mouth, and I think that's all pretty well done. The printing's all pretty good, and I like how this is molded together. These Animal Crossing heads are pretty cool, and I like the way they chose to do those. Torso is very nice. They have kind of this plaid, almost checkered kind of vest or something there, which is nice. So you get the pockets, the nice different colors, buttons on there, so it's almost like a sweater vest or something like that. They have a little bow around their neck, maybe a white shirt underneath, so just on the arms here. This is on the shorter legs, or like the medium legs, so they do bend, but they are not the full size legs there. And they also have the kind of hard plastic skirt piece that goes between the minifigure legs and the torso. The legs don't have any printing on it, the midsection doesn't have any printing on it. And then looking at the back, we have the back of this kind of sweater with the, or cardigan or whatever this is, with the kind of plaid looking color there, which I think is really nice. Overall, I think this figure is pretty cool. There are a lot of like accessories in this set that could be used as accessories, I suppose. So it doesn't have to be the watering can, but that is part of it. And I actually think I am missing one other element of this, so let me see if I can go find that. One moment, please. Okay, there we go. See if you can spot the difference. I did find that piece. But that was Isabelle, the figure. And the next one, I believe, is Fauna. So this one's a little different, but I really like this. I think it's supposed to be kind of like a deer, reindeer type character. Head printing, or head design is really, really nice here. So dual molded again, lots of printing on it. Does have the hole at the top, so they can have this little hat here potentially. And then the printing in the ears is really nice. The ears are great. And then it is dual molded with this kind of facial kind of patterning, being the different color there. And then we have a lot of printing. Again, the cheeks, there's not printing for the mouth, but it is molded in here. Printing for the nose, the eyes there, like I said, in the ears, and then the back of the head as well there, which is very, very cool. If we look in here, I'm not sure if you can see that dual molding in there, but it is the case that was done. So that's very nice, very cute. Like this character a lot. And the torso is really cool. It reminds me kind of a winter, kind of almost Christmassy type of thing. So it's like this coat with, I don't know if it's what kind of material it's made out of, but we have a kind of a fur lining there, and kind of these nice little clasps to close it up, which is good. Again, on the not the shortest legs, so they do bend, but not the regular full-size legs either. So they are kind of that medium leg. Nothing on the midsection, nothing on the legs, nothing on the arms. Back of the torso there does have like a hood that's lined with some of that fur or fleece or whatever that is, as well as kind of the bottom there. So that's this character. And again, this character could have a number of different accessories that are in this set. So there's lots of different stuff that could, they could use, but as is right now, they just have the hat up top, not another accessory in their hand. And then the rest of the set is this Isabelle's house visit. And like other Animal Crossing sets, it does start with, these kind of modules here, which does allow for it to be kind of reorganized and customized. I'm not going to go through in this video all the different ways that it could be put together. There are many of them, but I just kind of want to talk about this in kind of somewhat more defined sections. So I'm actually going to pop this off over here, and we can kind of talk about the main sort of house build first. As you can see, we have kind of some sections that could be taken off up front. They are held on with these 2x4s in between there. We also do start with kind of one of those big plates, the 8x16 that are kind of like road plate size, so they're thicker at certain elements, kind of like these Mario type plates are as well. So we do have that, and those are kind of up front, which gives the impression of kind of a yard or something here. And so on one side we have maybe just a walkway, there's a basket here, another accessory does have a flower in it right now, and then goes up to the door. Over here we have like what's kind of appears to be a small garden. So we have like the fence, maybe a gourd or pumpkin, maybe a carrot, some flowers growing behind there. We have a mailbox over here, and we actually do have a piece of mail in there, a printed piece of mail. So that is good. That can go in either through the back or the front. You can slide through that little slot there, which is nice. On the sides, we have a little extension of some yard there, and over here we have a flower. On this side, we have a kind of flower stud decorating the wall a bit, which is good. And then we work on this house. So for Animal Crossing, I think this is the case for all of them, that they're kind of just facades, which means that they're open back. So if we look at this from the top, we can see that there's not a full wall at the rear, and the roof isn't 100% complete. So we kind of build the exterior wall there. Some masonry bricks throughout the bottom, some different stuff, but pretty straight up building, pretty normal building. Use of some slope pieces up here to kind of give that roof angle. We build out a section in the front, which is good, using some bigger or taller bricks. Make use of the door piece here. So this door piece is all like one big piece that is the green part there, and then the door actually gets attached here, clipped in the side, and we have the one little stud to open and close that. I like that door shape, feels pretty nice. The windows are just open there. Of course we have a window over here and over here as well, which is cool. They stick out just a little bit, which will come into play later. I like how we built up the roof here. It's just kind of one brick thick for most of it, but you can see a little bit behind there, again, that angle of the roof. And then like these pieces are just clipped on, so you can press those down. That does leave some gaps at various places. These are just attached with one stud, so they can be kind of angled here as well and moved around. And I tried to kind of make them symmetrical and stuff, but that's okay like that. I really like how the roof was done. It is clipped on to the back of this roof section here, so you can see I can fold that forward, and we use a lot of this tile, but like alternating in height to kind of make some impression of like shingles or different stuff like that. So I think that's all really nicely done, nicely finished here. Have a chimney over in the back, as well as a maybe a cloud of smoke or something, or just a cloud in general there. So that's kind of the main front area of this, and for the most part this is serviceable. I feel like it looks pretty good. There's a noticeable mold mark right on the front of the door there, which is unfortunate, but that just is the case for some of these things. I like the color blocking. The color scheme feels about right. Even though it's a facade, it does feel like there's some depth to it, and there's some like heft to it. This easily could feel like or look like a fully enclosed building. And let me see here, one of the pieces, a flower piece, just ran away from me, but we can get that there. So this feels pretty good. It is, it's not exactly super deep, but it's not only a couple studs wide either, so it kind of gets this fine middle ground. And then the rest of this is done on the inside, which is important. So part of the reason we have an open back here is to have access inside, and we can kind of see what's all going on in here. So Normally this is supposed to be kind of over here, but it's been falling out depending on where it's put. So we can look in here. You get a lot of access over the top as well as just straight from the back, and we have a nicely designed kind of home here. So over in the corner we have kind of the kitchen with maybe an oven, a stove top. The oven can open up like that. Then we have maybe a sink next to it. Have some plant life over here, kind of a clock on the wall, printed, and side table for the bed, which has a mobile device, cellular phone type thing here, a painting of or a picture of somebody playing guitar out in the wilderness or out by some trees, which out in nature, which is really, really good. And then we have the bed. I love how this bed is done. The quilted kind of nature of this is really, really cool. I like the color choices, and I just like the pattern. It's very simple. Important to kind of get these all lined up, I think, but that wasn't too difficult, so that's really good. There is a book piece, which is another accessory that could be in here, and that can kind of be on the bed or something else. I found that, just for the sake of it, it does slot right in here under the bed, and not terribly difficult to get it out of there. So that's one place it could be, but otherwise it might have to be in a minifigure's hand. Over here we have kind of a dining area with a couple seats, a tea kettle, some maybe a donut and a cookie or some sort of pastries of various sorts, as well as cups for tea or coffee or whatever there. And that's kind of all this. These things could be moved around, kind of like Minecraft stuff, but also just like other Animal Crossing stuff. So a lot of these things could be moved around. It's not super easy, like to get this whole area out of there. It's not terrible. It's not bad, but that's something. These are easy enough to get out, and so you could reorganize this in whatever. One could reorganize this in whatever way they kind of liked, which is good. And what's in here, I think right now is very nice. There are not ways to have this character be studded down on the bed, but they do fit on the bed in there. There is some room for them to be, studded down in here. If you were to like try to sit them down to have the meal or have tea or whatever, I think it would be a little bit more difficult, but probably doable to get them there. It doesn't look the best because they are like hanging off a good amount of the seat right here, but you can get the approximation there, which is fine. So that's kind of everything in here, and these characters could hold on to the mug, the kettle, the phone thing here. They have the book, they have the watering can, they have the basket out front. They could also be holding like some of the stuff from the garden or these flower pieces. There's like different things for them to interact with here, or the mail piece or whatever, and there's room outside for them to be positioned as well, which is nice. Maybe Fauna is kind of walking over, and Isabelle is in the process of gardening, so they have the watering can there and whatever, and that all makes sense. So I like that. I think there's a good mix of kind of external details and internal stuff, and I'm actually not too mad about how the house was done. Just for access to this, it makes sense not to have it be covered all the way around, even though I know for like some adult builders or older builders or more advanced builders, or I guess any type of people who buy these products or build stuff might choose to try to make this a full house that's all the way enclosed. I get that. I think for play and stuff just out of the box, it really makes sense. And I don't know how much it adds, because the facade to me does feel rather complete, especially when looking at it kind of head on like this. So I don't know how much I mind that it's open, and it just does give so much more access. So I think that's pretty nice. And then besides that, we have a couple other little things here. So first we have this little kind of workbench area here. Very simple build. We got like some drawers down here, and then we have this printed tile with like an acorn or something on it, and then up here we have a rack for maybe holding, so all these clips hold different accessories. So we have a shovel, we have a hammer. I think this is supposed to be a slingshot or something like that, which is nice. And this just feels, it's nice and compact. It feels like something that could be in a modular building or something like that. And it can be moved around to various spots. So it's kind of like a workbench, almost like a cart or something. And the instructions kind of have that kind of over on the side there, which is fine. But this is a nice little accessory. Again, a bunch more accessories that characters could be using in here with the shovel, the hammer, the kind of slingshot type thing there. So that's all very good. And then continuing on, we have this other module here, which does have some parts that are relevant to Animal Crossing in terms of things to like gather. So we have this like spiral shell tile piece. We have this star tile piece here, which, as I understand it, I think somebody who saw a video of my Bunny's Outdoor Adventure thing commented about what these specifically are in the game, and were happy that they were represented in these sets, that set, and other sets, I'm assuming. We do have a little like tree stump here, maybe the impression of a pond or water there, and then a tree up at the back. Pretty common type of tree here, but this one does have apples on it, which is really nice. And then above that, you can see this is what I was missing at first. We have one of these clear kind of panel brick pieces, and then we build this gift kind of package delivery that has a balloon associated with it. So it almost looks like maybe this could be floating above and coming down, and this could be put and various things in the set to kind of make that the case. And then, yeah, the balloon's very easy. You got a little bow up top. This can be opened up, and inside it's only studded down on one spot, and then we build this little crate in there with various pieces, and it looks like there's a paintbrush, another accessory, as well as maybe a palette of paints or a couple jars of paints. Those are connected on one of those round 1x2 hollow stud plates there, with just some different colored tiles on it, which is nice. That covers up, easy enough to pop that off, not a big deal. And then the tree as well has some hidden stuff in here. So if we remove the top there, we can see another one of these star coin type pieces. So there's a little kind of crevice in here, and it's one of the kind of collectible or resources, one of the things from the game that is hidden in here, which is really nice. So there's a couple different things like that. And the official images, this is mainly set up kind of like this. So this maybe goes between the area there. Maybe this is over here. The book is inside or outside or wherever, and all these other characters are there. We do get like an extra one of these, which is to connect this with other Animal Crossing sets or to reorganize this in certain ways. So moving this module over here, moving these modules to the side, or building out front, or whatever else, you can kind of move these around. For the most part, the like house with these two kind of front ones probably are going to stay together, but then all these other little pieces can be, or little kind of setups can be kind of rearranged, and that feels pretty good. And then one of the other ways to like customize this that I think is pretty interesting is we cut some extra pieces over here that aren't typical extra pieces, in that they're like small. So those are extra window frames, and that is so we can pop these off and put those on there. You can see the arch is kind of built into the structure, which is good. And it's kind of interesting because that's why we have that like windowsill kind of hanging out over. So it's actually relatively easy to swap out the windows. And whoops, maybe I shouldn't do that while I'm holding it in my hand, but there we go. I think that looks pretty good. And now I am missing a piece in here. There we go. And so we can change the windows, which changes the shape and the color of the windows there. Minimal gapping, so not a big deal. If we look at the other one over here, it has the arch built in there, but you can't really see it that much, even with the square window, which is nice. That one's easy enough to pop off. And we can put the kind of blue one with the arch window on the side as well. So that's kind of a nice touch. I mean, I think I maybe would have liked if there was a change in color for the door as well. It's not needed, but and the door and these aren't the same color, but it did feel like more cohesive to me. With the square windows there, but it is nice to get those options. So as well as kind of rearranging all the different elements of this to create a different kind of yard, a different scene. You know, some of the images do have the kind of dining area moved to a module outside, you know, maybe off to the side, or having tea and crumpets in the garden or something like that. So that's perfectly doable as well. So there's a lot that you know, if you're with a little bit of creativity, imagination, and figuring out either like city layouts or play patterns or just how this is to be done, I mean, they can do that. I think there's also the idea that like these characters could be the ones that are switching how they want their house to look, and that customizability is, I think, part of the games. And so you can rearrange how this looks every time you play with it. There is a upper limit, but there's a lot of individual elements that can be changed around that do increase the kind of amount of differences you can put in here. So that's really good, and that's kind of the main build there. I'll show the extra pieces because you do get some, and you get a good amount. So the printed kind of cookie piece, you also get like the donut piece somewhere, I think here. This one is something else. It almost looks like a pancake waffle type piece, and I'm wondering where that was used. Okay, maybe it's in the oven. Yes, it was in the oven. So another little thing here, this was in the oven. So you do get that as well. I forgot about that. Fine. And then the rest of the extra pieces, besides, you know, those printed tiles, you get an extra of like the slingshot type piece. This is a great one used for the roof. Your 1x1s, your studs, your tiles, your cups, a couple flower studs, extra of the paintbrush, these floral kind of elements in there, the star tile, the shell tile, the slingshot, the hat, all of your tiny pieces. So good to get those. And this set is 389 pieces, and I paid $32 for this. So it retails for $40. 20% off would be $8 off, which gets it down to $32, which is what I paid for it. And let me see how I can kind of get this here for the sake of the video. You get the two figures, you get all the accessories, the customizability. There are some bigger pieces in here. There are no stickers in here. It is all prints, and they did go kind of that extra length to include sort of things like this, which is nice. I think for almost 400 pieces, you know, 11 pieces shy of 400 for $40 feels actually okay. I don't think there's a way to, without making huge sacrifices to, like, for example, make this so it's not just an open back and like have an enclosed building there, without like drastically inflating the price or, like I say, like severe cuts on some other elements. I think this has a good mix of stuff, internal stuff, external stuff, and I also think, you know, this plays really well with other Animal Crossing sets, so it's just ready to be integrated into different stuff. It's very ready and to be changed and customized, and that is all very like available here, which is nice. It's accessible in a lot of ways. So I think this is pretty good. You know, the amount of stuff here, there are some bigger pieces, some odd pieces, certainly like the big plate and stuff like that, the prints, these extra windows, which I think these windows were probably made for Animal Crossing, but I'm not sure. So there's like a lot of different stuff for different activities here. Minifigures are new, like new torsos, new heads for sure, that are detailed and different than a lot of other Lego products. They had to make these for like this set specifically. So as one of the kind of the flagship, well, I don't know if that's necessarily the right word, but this is from the first wave of Animal Crossing stuff, and it was kind of one of the sets. There's a few other ones, and now we're on to a new wave in the theme. But like this is one of the sets. I think the $40 price range, like price point, is important to hit, especially if there's ones that maybe are like 60, 70, 80. I don't think there have been any Animal Crossing sets that are like above that $100 mark. And this is kind of that mid-range thing here. They do have the couple sets at like 15, 20. There was a couple sets at 30, I want to say, and maybe in the second wave there was. This one's 40. I feel like that makes sense compared to some of the other ones I looked at that were not only smaller in piece count, but maybe fewer minifigures and less like detail, and not even close to like a substantial building here, even if it is open back. And then so I think that is all pretty good here. In terms of value, I paid $32 for this, which is 20% off. I feel like that's really nice. Yeah, I always would advocate for Lego to be cheaper. So even if this is $38 or $37.99 or $35, I think that's would be great. I'm just I think understanding the pricing scheme for 2023, 2024 when I'm recording this and when this set released. So $40 doesn't feel outrageous to me. And so I was happy there. I don't know if I would have bought this if it was not on sale. That 20% off is kind of the like target price for some of these things for me, that I'm like looking for, and that does bring me a lot, or it does draw my attention, interests me a lot more when I do see these kind of sets on sale. So I did not pay the full retail price. I'm not sure if the retail price was actually that bad, but I'm certainly happy to get it on sale. And I think the value here is pretty good because there's a good amount of stuff here. I just recorded a video about a Lego Batman 4 Plus set that was, many fewer pieces in this because it's a 4 Plus set. It did have different IP attached to it, but it was $35 retail. I ended up getting that for 30% off, but like comparing that to this does feel like a good amount more stuff. There's more building that takes place here, and overall I think that's pretty good. So I'm happy with this. Think I got a fair deal, enjoyed it, and happy to have this. So I think that's it. If you like this video, please click the thumbs up and give it a like. If you like my other videos, click the subscribe button down below so you can stay up to date on all the Lego videos I'll be doing here in the future, including more Lego Animal Crossing, and then tons of other Lego sets from all different themes, all different shapes, size, price point, piece count, tons of different stuff. So subscribe so you don't miss any of my upcoming Lego videos. And then if you wanted to support the channel by giving money to the channel, you can do that. You can donate money here on YouTube. There's like membership, supers, and thanks, all of that stuff. There's a Patreon. It's linked in the video description. There'll be an affiliate link for this set in the video description. And there's also a Buy Me a Coffee link there. That's all another way to give money to the channel to help support the channel and keep these videos going. Every little bit helps, and I do appreciate it. So thank you very much. And with all that said, until next time, thanks. Bye.